I lift my eyes and the danger is already there. Not screaming, not obvious, not dramatic. Quiet, strategic, waiting. The morning feels normal, yet something presses from the inside, as if my spirit sensed exposure before my mind caught up. This is how it works. Threat does not always come running at you. Sometimes it watches you from a distance, calculating when you are most unguarded. I learned this early. The hills were never just scenery. They were places of surveillance, places of ambush, places where enemies stayed hidden while pretending to be far away. Psalm 121 begins with a question, because awareness must come before protection. If you do not know where danger looks from, you will misread where safety comes from. Many sons and daughters wake up today with anxiety they cannot explain, a pressure they name as stress, a fear they blame on fatigue. But what if it is perception? What if your spirit knows something your logic has not processed yet? Evil counts on delay, on distraction, on you starting the day without clarity. Because one wrong decision early can redirect an entire future. This message is not here to calm you first. It is here to wake you up. Protection begins with awareness. Guidance begins with honesty. If you are listening now, you were meant to hear this before the day advances. Stay. What you understand next determines what is allowed to touch you today. The hills are watching. Why Moses knew where danger really comes from. I never underestimated terrain. People did. Systems did. Enemies did not. The hills were not innocent elevations. They were vantage points, places where eyes waited, plans formed, and attacks were prepared long before movement was noticed. That is why the first instinct was never comfort. It was assessment. Psalm 121 exposes something uncomfortable. Vulnerability comes before reassurance. I lift my eyes because something demands attention. Fear does not always mean weakness. Sometimes it is information, a signal that something is off, a warning that you are seen, evaluated, measured. Ignoring that feeling is what gets people trapped. I watched strong men fall because they trusted appearances. Calm hills, quiet mornings, familiar routines. Meanwhile, danger positioned itself patiently. This is why awareness saves lives before power ever does. If you know where threat hides, you know where help must come from. Many today confuse fear with failure. They shame themselves for sensing risk. They silence intuition. They spiritualize denial. That is how exposure increases. Anxiety is not always the enemy. Sometimes it is the messenger. The real enemy is pretending nothing is wrong when something clearly is. This is where Moses differed. I did not ask why I felt watched. I asked where my help truly came from. Not from the hills, not from strategy, not from past victories. From the Lord who made what the enemy tries to use against you. The moment you identify the source of danger, its power shrinks. Awareness disrupts ambush. Clarity interrupts fear's growth. If you are sensing pressure today, do not suppress it. Interpret it. What you acknowledge now cannot surprise you later. My help comes from the Lord. Why self-reliance is the real risk. I learned something dangerous before most people ever do. The greatest threat is not the enemy you see. It is the strength you trust too much. Experience can betray you. Intelligence can delay you. Confidence can blind you. That is why Psalm 121 makes a hard turn. After identifying where danger watches from, it removes every false place of safety in a single sentence. My help does not come from the hills, not from strategy, not from preparation, not from what worked last time. This is where pride quietly hides. People survive one battle and assume the next one will fall the same way. They accumulate victories and call it security. But the wilderness changes rules without warning. What protected you in Egypt fails in the desert. What made you strong in one season becomes useless in another. That is how people fall without understanding why. I saw it happen repeatedly. Men trusted systems, women trusted relationships, leaders trusted reputation. They did not fail because the enemy was stronger. They failed because they leaned on what once worked instead of who never changes. Self-reliance feels responsible, but it is often disguised fear of surrender. Here is the plot twist most never expect. Depending on yourself feels safe because it gives the illusion of control. Depending on God feels risky because it requires obedience before explanation. Evil exploits this hesitation. It whispers, "Rely on what you know. Wait until you understand. Protect yourself first." That delay is costly. When you say, "My help comes from the Lord," you are not asking for rescue. You are abandoning alternatives. You are removing backup plans that compete with obedience. This is not weakness. It is alignment. And alignment terrifies the enemy more than confidence ever could. If you feel exposed today, ask yourself what you're leaning on. If it can fail, it will. If it can be taken, it eventually is. Only one source does not shift with seasons, pressure, or betrayal. This realization changes how you move next. Once self-reliance breaks, guidance becomes clear, and clarity is the doorway to protection you cannot manufacture. He will not slumber. What happens when God works while you don't see? I used to think silence meant distance, that when nothing moved, nothing was happening. The wilderness corrected me. Silence is not absence, it is strategy. Psalm 121 does not say God watches when you watch. It says he never slumbers, never closes his eyes, never misses a moment when danger tries to reposition itself. War does not pause at night. Evil does not rest because you are tired. That is why the one who protects you does not sleep, while you try to understand, while you hesitate, while fear negotiates inside your thoughts. God is already working in places you cannot access. I saw this unfold again and again. Traps dissolved before we reached them. Enemies lost courage without explanation. Paths opened where logic predicted collapse. None of this happened in public moments. It happened while people slept, complained, doubted, or waited for visible signs. God's advantage is timing you do not control. This is where anxiety collapses. If God were reactive, fear would be justified. If he waited for your prayers to begin working, panic would make sense. But he moves first, always, before your decision, before your strength, before your awareness. Many sons and daughters misinterpret delay as danger. They assume because nothing changed immediately, nothing is changing at all. That lie breeds impatience. Impatience produces shortcuts. Shortcuts create wounds protection was trying to prevent. God's silence is often the sound of preparation. While you feel watched, he is watching those who watch you. While pressure builds inside, he is disarming outcomes you never see. This is not passive protection. It is constant engagement. Once you understand this, fear loses its urgency. You stop rushing decisions. You stop forcing movement. You stop reacting emotionally to invisible threats. Trust becomes strategic instead of emotional. If God never sleeps, then panic is unnecessary. If he never looks away, then haste becomes dangerous. What you cannot see today is not empty. It is active, and the more you trust that truth, the less power fear has over your next move. The Lord is your keeper. Why guidance prevents future pain. I learned this the hard way. Protection is not only about what happens to you, it is about what never happens because you were redirected in time. Many people think God protects by intervening at the last second. Often, he protects by guiding you away long before danger becomes visible. This is where impatience becomes dangerous. When pressure rises, the instinct is to move faster, to decide quickly, to choose what feels urgent instead of what is right. That is exactly where future pain is born. Not from attacks, but from rushed choices. Not from enemies, but from emotional decisions made under fear. Psalm 121 calls the Lord your keeper, not your rescuer. A keeper watches paths, not just outcomes. He guards entrances, not just exits. He blocks doors that look promising but end in loss. He slows you down when speed would cost you more than waiting ever could. I watched people blame God for wounds he was trying to prevent. They ignored guidance because it felt inconvenient. They chose alliances because they looked safe. They trusted opportunities because they glittered like solutions. Later, they called it bad luck. It was not. It was ignored direction. This is why guidance feels restrictive before it feels protective. It challenges your logic. It resists your urgency. It confronts your desire to prove something quickly. But what feels like delay today may be the reason you are alive, whole, and stable tomorrow. Moses understood this. Not every path forward was taken. Some were intentionally avoided. Those decisions saved lives years later. Guidance is invisible investment. You do not feel its value immediately, but you live with its consequences for a lifetime. If something in you feels restrained today, do not panic. Ask what pain is being prevented. Ask what future you are being protected from. The keeper is not blocking your progress. He is guarding your tomorrow. Your coming and going. Today is not random. I once believed days were neutral, that mornings simply arrived and choices unfolded naturally. Psalm 121 dismantles that illusion. Nothing about today is accidental. Every coming and going carries consequence. Every step, every pause, every decision places you either under guidance or under exposure. This psalm does not speak about someday. It speaks about now, about this moment, about the risks you will take today without realizing they are risks, about the doors you might open simply because you are tired of waiting, about the conversations, the routes, the decisions that seem small but shape entire seasons. I learned that movement is never empty. When you leave one place, something follows. When you enter another, something observes. That is why God guards both the exit and the entrance. Not just where you are going, but how you are going. Not just what you choose, but why you choose it. This is where everything converges. Awareness, help, trust, guidance, all of it leads here, to a decision you must make consciously. You can continue moving as if today were ordinary, or you can acknowledge that this day carries weight and respond with alignment. Now is the moment to establish agreement. Write this prophetic phrase in the comments as an act of spiritual positioning and clarity. The Lord is my keeper, and my steps are guarded today. Do not write it casually. Words give direction. Declarations create boundaries. If this message reached you at the right time, do not treat it as coincidence. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. This is not about visibility for a platform. It is about allowing this word to reach other sons and daughters who are making decisions under pressure and need guidance before fear speaks. Your action helps this message continue moving where it must go. Do not leave yet. Alignment is sealed through prayer. Pray with me now. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.